we can be pretty impulsive at times. You just look at all the people on the internet. There's people like Nikocado Avocado that just does whatever the fuck he wants. He does mukbangs and shit. And there's people that just game and jerk off all day. And you might start thinking about how you're somewhat similar to that, because we're all somewhat impulsive, right? We'll go off the feeling that we want to do something in the moment. And this leads us to a place that we didn't really anticipate. Like maybe you were trying to just go out and buy something, but you end up seeing some fast food restaurant and you go there and you buy like a whole ass meal and you end up feeling like shit once you finish that thing. And you never really anticipated doing that when you first set out to just go buy something for your mom. And that's why I feel that you really need to practice stoicism to kind of counteract this. And if you don't know what stoicism is, it's basically the philosophy where you can endure pain or suffering without any complaint. You can be disciplined. You can go and do what things you really should be doing without getting sidetracked and tempted by all these things that are just blaring at you. Your phone, games, fast food, like all these things that you really want in the moment, but you don't fall for those temptations. That's what stoicism is really about. And the one thing I've realized, or the one big benefit I've gotten from stoicism, is that it allows me to hone in on and zone in on my work a lot more, because whenever I practice stoicism, it makes me be a lot more present and I'm a lot more mindful of every little action I take, and therefore it makes me more aware of what the things I am doing and what I should actually be doing in reality. So if I'm, I don't know, maybe on my phone for a little too long, being stoic will allow me to realize that this is not something I should be doing and I should go record a video, write up a script, something like that, you know? And so practicing stoicism is just a really peaceful and fulfilling way you should live. And so this video, here's how you can control your emotions. The first step to living the more stoic lifestyle is to first understand why we even take these impulsive actions in the first place. And it's simply because there's some external trigger that causes us to want to go and do these things, that causes these feelings of desire to go and do these things and leads us to acting on impulse. And these external triggers are typically the environment and the people you hang around. If you put yourself around the wrong kind of people, like people that don't do what they need to be doing and all they do is just do whatever they feel like in the moment. They go binge eat, they game, they do anything but the work that they need to do. They're very undisciplined. You're only going to be doing the same things as they do because you're part of this social group, right? You want to be socially accepted, and so therefore you're also going to be doing the same thing so you can connect to them on a deeper level. And so this leads me into my next section. Remove those negative people from your life. Now, removing might not be the best word, but I'd say try and distance yourself a lot more from them. I'm not telling you should completely ignore them and not talk to them at all. It's very hard to remove friends, and I'm not asking you to do that, but just try and limit the time you spend around them. You can still talk to them, you can still like do a few things with them, right? But just don't try and hang around them as much as before, and try and find a new group and form a new environment where you can support yourself and be more likely and more consistent to do the things that you actually think you should be doing, like working, your schoolwork, for example, going to the gym, all these self-improvement things that you know you should be doing. Like, think about it as this. I'm gonna use a marathon analogy here, right? So let's say you want to run a 10K marathon, right? You want to win first place. You're obviously going to run as best as you can. You don't want any setbacks. You don't want to put yourself into any unnecessary situations that may cause you to lose some time or be cut out of the race entirely, right? But if you purposely put yourself into the situation, in this case, self-improvement, you put yourself in these environments where you're more likely to fail, you're only going to bring yourself back down, and you're going to make your goal even further and further away. You need to take actions to put yourself in the right environments and in the right situations where you can mitigate the risk of relapsing, failing, and continuing to just repeat the cycle of doing these things that you know you shouldn't be doing. Another thing I'm also going to mention is that you should also have a more positive worldview as you try and live this stoic life, mastering and controlling your emotions. Because if you're to view everything with negativity, right? Because a lot of the times when we take these impulsive actions, it's typically because we feel something negative and we feel the urge to do something to try and rid ourselves of this negative emotion. If we're really angry, we'll try and do something impulsive, like maybe go beat the shit out of something, or maybe beat up the person that angered us. And it just ends up really badly because we only see the negative in a lot of the cases. But if you start seeing everything with a more passive and just positive stance of these things happen, it is what it is, and you see the good that's also in them, you'll no longer take these impulsive actions that might lead you into trouble and that you might later on regret. Just think about it, right? If your overall worldview is initially beginning down here, right? But if you start to raise the positivity in your life slowly and surely, there's going to be nothing you're going to get upset at, nothing that really triggers you to go doing these things. There's nothing that can ever just tempt you, because once you're in such a positive state of mind, nothing really matters to you, and you can really prioritize what really needs to be done, like your purpose or your work. Once you start seeing the world more positively, you're naturally going to see yourself more positively. And a lot of us, we like to underestimate ourselves, or we'll typically underestimate ourselves and we'll have a lack of confidence, right? But if you start seeing the reality and raise the impression you have of yourself, you're going to be more confident. You're going to be able to do a lot more things. You're going to be more socially active. You can talk to a lot more people. You're no longer going to think yourself that you're just this introvert. You can be more socially open and you can go talk to more people, you know? Just living the stoic life is a very enjoyable one. It's one where you can prioritize yourself and you can prioritize what really needs to be done. You can put yourself around the right things and you can actually control yourself. You are no longer unable to control yourself. You can actually control yourself and control everything that you choose to do in your life. You don't mindlessly go scroll and you feel like shit later, but you actually do the work and you feel very productive during the day. Alright. That's about it for this video. To overall conclude, the first step is just to understand what makes you impulsive, and this is typically because of the environment and the situations you put yourself in. And the next step is to rid yourself of any bad environments that may lead you to doing these very impulsive things where you don't really control your emotions, you let it get the best of you. And another thing to do is to view everything more positively. See the world in a more positive light and just be more trusting. Give others the benefit of the doubt and don't really try and actively attack anyone if they try and attack you. Just leave these things be a lot of the times and just take a bystander stance on a lot of these things. Don't have initial thoughts and just view them as they are. Ooh, I'm done with this video. So I had to record this video so many times. Like, I'm gonna put a picture up here, okay? And this is how many takes I've done to just record this video. So many times. There's still just that perfectionist part of me where I just feel like if I screw up one bit, we gotta restart. If I screw up this bit, we gotta restart. But this bit, I still screwed up sometimes, but I just really didn't care anymore. I needed to get this through and just finish it off. I'm finally done. But I feel like I had to make this video good because this is a video that really connects to me, you know? Because discipline and stoicism is an idea I really like and I really support. And I hope a lot of other people take up this mold and just try and be more stoic and more disciplined, you know? So yeah. That's about it for this video. So do the shit that needs to be done. Alright? So give me a kiss. Mwah.